Welcome to the Impact Revolution. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Fine, fine, very good. Thank you, Joseph, for this kind invitation. It's really a pleasure to be here with you, and I'm completely well. I'm a lot of fun, Still
Thank you. It's
summer,
going to
so
be it's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks a lot.
absolutely, yeah.
Yes,
My pleasure, my pleasure.
I love what you do, this virtual education world that you are working on, and we're going on detail on this interview about all the things that you are going on and you're working on.
Hmm.
But before going on deep on that, we wanted to ask you something a bit more personal. That is about who you are. Yeah. And I like to ask these questions that is a bit personal, which is someone, Carlos, that admires you and highly knows you very well and respects you. How will define who is Carlos Ochoa?
Well, I hope, I wish they think I'm a good person, I think this is something, for me, it's very important. When sometimes I think when I die, I hope that the people think that I was a good person, that I am a very good friend of my friends. I love to share time with my friends and my family, sharing experiences, sharing lives. I love arts, I love music, I love everything regarding nature. And
Nice.
I think this is the most important. The other things are only temporary, you know. So if you
Okay.
study, if you work, or whatever.
All right. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that, Carlos. That's really nice. And I remember, I know from our previous talk just before about the Guadarrama that you're living now. That is very beautiful in nature. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. It's a natural park of Guadarrama, living just close to the mountains. And this is really a privilege that I have the opportunity to go to the mountains, climbing, riding the bike, and the sight from my house is when I saw this the it's not the skyline. Well, the skyline of the mountains. I can say I'm still alive. I love it. This is the best picture I ever seen.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I want a picture after this interview when
I
you
will
share
do
it.
it. I will do it. I will serve.
Okay, thank you. And now another question related to you, Carlos. If I tell you, I ask you, what was the best or the happiest moment in your life? What comes to your mind, the first thing?
Well, I have a lot of amazing moments. I cannot choose one. My
The first one
first
that comes to your mind,
my first kid.
if any.
This was really amazing. It's a miracle when you get the kid and you said, "This is mine." Well, it's not mine, but and then you can realize that there is life again, or some moments in your life when you were studying in the university, and then you start to make works in the real life, and you can apply of this knowledge, or some moments that I share with some artists in some concerts, live, or experiences, or whatever. So I can tell you that I'm really glad, and I'm happy to say that my life is amazing. So I'm still I have the opportunity to express myself every single day, and to be very happy with all the things that I can learn from every single moment.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And the first thing you say were the kids, right? When you say your kids.
Absolutely, yes. This
Yeah.
is a miracle. And now the grandsons, when I spend time with my grandsons, then I said I have a compromise. So I need to fight for a better world, because they deserve all. So we need to do something. Otherwise, I cannot imagine how they are going to live in 10 years time. So this is really a compromise. So we need to fight for that. And we need to make it
Right.
happy, just because the nature, the life, the sustainability of the planet. So
We
this is
have
really a
to
compromise.
collaborate to make a better world, better environment for them. Yeah.
Absolutely, and this is not a word. This is something that we need to act now, And this is really that
For sure,
the
for
thing.
sure.
Well, we are very small. We are few people. What can you do? You can do a lot of things. For instance, in this interview, you can say we need to make a better world, and we need to create a collaboration team, and the people need to fight for that. It's not, it's a message. So and then it's a compromise for all these people. And there is, believe me, there is a lot of people with this compromise and trying to do, not trying, working on it.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's the idea of this interview as well, to redefine the business mindset, to we have more long-term vision rather than short-term. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and we focus more on the future, on the sustainable future that we can build together. So yeah, thank you for that. Now, Carlos, we can go to the main interview, and now that you talk about when I asked you how they will define you, you were saying that you were going to the deathbed or something, something like related to that. So this is a similar question, but it's different. It's like, if you were going to die tomorrow, Carlos, what impactful message would you leave to the world?
Well, that I was trying to do something valuable for the world, for the citizens, for the family, for the friends, and it's not the question is not to put a tree, it's to build up a big forest, and this is the thing.
Nice. To build a big forest, yeah. And what do you mean with building the big forest, Carlos?
Well, the big forest is like a metaphor,
Yes,
So
yes.
we need water and we need forest because without oxygen we cannot breathe, and we need the forest just for that. And the forest is nature, and with the good you can build violins, you can build guitars, you can build instruments, you can build your home, you can build your chair, your table, you can do everything. So
Uh-huh.
the forest is like, well, it's part of some cultures that really believe on that, no? And there are
Definitely
some,
indigenous people, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And I can see the rainforest is like a message.
Yes.
So this is very, very important. Yeah,
Yeah, here in the Amazons, in Brazil, there
absolutely.
is a lot
Yeah.
of communities that they live in that, and they believe in that, in the spiritual world as well, and how everything is connected, and how important it is to take care of nature. Yeah, definitely.
Well, you can see, if you can see let's say a film, or yes, a film about Mars or the moon or whatever. Can you live in a place where there is no forest, where there are no
Water,
nature,
water. Yeah,
water? It's impossible, absolutely impossible. This is like a virtual wall. So
yeah.
we need
Sure.
we need to make it happen, and this is very, very, very important. And this is one of the biggest impact of the climate change, the
Uh-huh.
deforestation, and this is very bad. This is why there are, let's say, two big pillars. According to that, the blue pillar is like the ocean and the sea, and the tree pillar is the nature and the forest. So we need the blue green planet, which
Mhm.
is must be the must and our focus.
Definitely. Okay. Great. Thank you. And now we're going to your experience, Carlos. And I was looking forward for this. I love everything that is about virtual reality, augmentation, and all that. Basically, of what you do, that is serving the education mainly, that which is your focus. And I wanted to know more about what you do exactly, the most important part, and the most important projects that you working on right now, and maybe the vision that you have, how this thing that you're working on will serve the education, and how it will transform the education that we are having right now.
Well, this is well, this is the question. It's too much. Well,
Yes, please. It is sorry. That's good.
I don't know how to start, but okay. One thing is that, well, this is a very complex question. Well, education is a system, okay? And as a system,
Mm-hmm.
the pillars today are very rigid and are very solid, and it's very difficult to redefine or to rebuild all these pillars, but we have to make it happen, okay? But
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot
Mm-hmm.
of connection because the politicians, the countries, the governments, the laws, but learning is a process and teaching is an action. So we can act directly to the learning process and we can act directly to the action. So the thing is that the industry or the planet or whatever, the world is changing very fast. Sometimes not very fast because we can see that uh, the cars still have four wheels and they need petrol, and there are a lot of intercommunications and interrelations between the different industries. So sometimes when you see, for instance, Blade Runner, that when you remember the Blade Runner film, the first
I'm not sure. No,
no,
I don't think I have watched
you
it.
have to watch it. Yes, in the very beginning, the first screen, you can see Los Angeles, 2019. It was three
Okay.
years ago, and the film has 40 years. So 40 years ago, they thought that the world became like it was in the picture, and we are very close to 4 years ago. So not too many things have change. Well, internet and some things, but not as we thought in the very beginning. So the thing is that today the education system still is making some kind of transformation, though the world is accelerating the process. And in this time, there is a big gap between the rich countries and the poor countries. So when the situation, when we have big crisis, then the gap is going bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes.
And this
Mm-hmm.
is really a big problem. So when we talk about technology, we need to think and to focus on all the ecosystem. So in every country, in poor countries, and how we can help poor countries and poor people to use the technology in the way that they have the opportunity to compete with the rich countries. Otherwise, in a very egoist system or way, you can see that if the scope for the business industries is going even smaller, so the industry will fail. So if you don't have a big market or big opportunity to sell your products, then the market is going to collapse. So this gap, in, let's say, from a vision of the industry, has to decrease. So at the end, the industry needs to accelerate the process to provide value to the poor countries. So most of the time when we talk about technologies or virtual reality, augmented reality, wherever, we always think about high education, big universities, and expensive systems in the way that they can accelerate or differentiate from one country to another, from one university to another. But you cannot see how creative can be poor countries when they need when they need access to internet, and they can use the smartphone, not the smartphones, the mobile phones to create storytelling, to record stories, and to use one PC and to share all these experiences. It's incredible. So the thing is that we need to accelerate this process of accessibility. So
Yes,
the,
totally.
the, the education sector, the first barrier is accessibility. How to access to the, let's say, to the wall of the knowledge, because it's almost there, and they
Yes.
need to access in the same way to compete all around the world with the same opportunities. And this is really the mission, how we can accelerate this process, okay, using these technologies, because with these technologies we can teach the teachers to understand how to provide value and to accelerate, because at the end, you don't need a book. You need only, let's say, some experiences, how to use it, and to provide value to the community, and to connect the people from the different countries with people from other countries, and to create collaboration platforms and networks. And in that way,
That's
you can
great.
create a lot of value. So, but if you
Definitely.
are isolated in your country, or you are isolated in a village, and you don't have access to all these knowledge or technologies or opportunities, this will be very, very, very bad. So the
Definitely.
issue is how we can process or accelerate the accessibility to these technologies to all these people in different countries. And this
Uh,
will be, I'm sure we can work for a better world if we can make it happen.
Definitely, definitely. It reminds me to something that I discussed in my last interview with Alfredo Serrano, which he said that internet should be a basic need, like water and electricity. Nowadays,
Absolutely, absolutely,
and I totally
absolutely.
agree with that, and I totally agree with what you just shared now. And is One Digital doing any project related to what you just described, Carlos?
Well, yes, we have been working, we have been very active in this education process. We have been helping some governments in the past, just as consultants, to help them to understand the value of the web 2.0, how to use simulators, how to use training simulators to accelerate the learning processes. And we have been working with the UK governments, with some publishers in the UK and in Emirates. Just create or building up the big smart education labs, where we were integrating different technologies to teach the students how to build up their own projects in the same way that you will do it in the real life. So if you are in a lab or you are in the industry, we teach the teachers how to understand the complete process and how to adapt the different technologies in the value chain, which is really important. And one of the most, well, one of my favorite projects was music with five senses. This is the last adventure that we did during the last, well, we are still involved in this project. It
Okay.
comes during the COVID times. The International School of Music, Reina Sofia, asked me to, well, they have a program to teach the students from the schools classical music. Okay, and because the COVID and everything, everybody was at home, so they don't have the opportunity to put the kids in the scenario and to connect with the musicians and so on. And they asked me if we were able to record a live concert and to put in a headset and to go to the schools or go to the different centers just to explain that. So they said, okay, kids between 12 and 16, put a headset with a live concert of classical music around Tchaikovsky, Mozart, or Respighi. You are crazy. Sorry about that, but how do you think that the people, that the students, the kids that were at home for so long, they are going to be happy watching a concert? So let's do it in a different way. I think we can create 14 stories. Every song will be a story, and we can put it in a different environment and in an ecosystem, in the way that they are going to experiment. They are going to hear the music. They are going to see the orchestra, but they are going to move from to the forest or to the oceans, just to connect the music with the senses in the way that they can feel that they are part of this history. Okay, so we rebuilt the complete history and we recreated these experiences. And today, more than 4,000 students from Spain experience
Okay.
this this experience, okay, and
Very nice.
the feedback was pretty amazing. You can see people that don't like classical music, don't like rock and roll, don't only like, blah blah blah, boom 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 boom, and they when they
Reggaeton.
reggaeton. When they finished the experience, they said, "It was pretty amazing. I can never imagine." I was watching the guy playing the violin close to me. I was watching how the violin was built by the luthier, and the connection between the music and the strings and the forest and the wood, and this connection was really amazing. So we
Wow.
think that this is really an international vision, how we can create value and how we can engage students, because the musicians were students of very young talent guys. So they were talking about their experience, how much time they spend learning every instrument, 8, 10 hours per day. So this is something that changed the mind of the people that live this experience in first time, So
Uh-huh.
according to that, now we are working in this direction, and we want to develop an international project that
Okay.
we can move all around the world, connecting art, creativity, nature, values, and music, combining young talents with experienced music in different histories to move to
Uh-huh.
all the schools all around the world.
That's nice. That's nice. Now I want to watch, this concert, this classical concert,
Well,
virtual
it's really
concert.
amazing. You cannot imagine. For me,
Ne-
it was an experience that was amazing. So this is my future project. We are working on that,
Okay.
and we will see how it's going
All
on,
right.
because
Next
it
time in
takes.
Madrid, if I go there, I had to call you. I'm sorry. I need to
Sorry,
experience that. you,
absolutely,
you
yeah,
sold
yeah.
it. You sold it
You
to me.
are
You're
very,
welcome.
very welcome, very welcome, very welcome.
Thank you, Carlos. And this goes to my next question, Carlos, which is one of my biggest interests because I'm an emotional coach, I'm performance coach, so I like to teach emotional intelligence to my clients and to the people, and that's my mission. And I wanted to know how this virtual reality or augmentation could actually help us, coaches or psychologists or things, to help to develop a more acute or trained emotional intelligence?
Well, this is another great
I
question.
know, it's a hard question, but maybe you have some experience or you know someone or I don't know. Yes.
Well, you can find a lot of crazy people. Sorry about crazy, but I cannot say this is very serious. And a lot of meta bloggers talking about the benefits of VR and the benefits, and they don't have an idea, and they never experience with medical doctors, with real patients, and they don't know how it works. So we have a big network with very close people to us that help us to understand the real needs in the different sectors or areas. Okay, when
Uh-huh.
you are talking about coaching, one thing that is very important is engagement, and engagement and empathy. So
Yes.
how you can build trust, engagement, and empathy in VR. So, first, you need to create a very good environment that is crucial. Okay, and in this environment, you need to be in a good mood. So the environment and the scenarios are really very, very important. The second is the story that you want to tell, and the technology that you are going to use in that way that you can move your hands, you can open your eyes, and you can speak, and you can get the feeling that you are talking with somebody that get all your feelings, which is very difficult, but it happened. Okay, so it depends of many things. So this is something that nowadays not many, but very, very good companies are working in how to get the feelings, the perceptions, and the emotions, and the messages from the brain taking all this information from the brain and the headset and from some sensors from your body. And in that way, you can communicate and you can interact, let's say, in a good mood with the other person. The thing is that there is nothing
Really nice.
compared when we are talking. I can see your eyes, if
One-to-one.
you are
Sure.
smile or not.
Sure.
But the other thing is that you are in the same place. And in the same place, if you can move and you can move around yourself and you can walk around, and then you get the feeling that you are really inside and the other guy is really inside with you, this can help a lot because you can move into different situations that you can simulate different situations that in real life will be very difficult. For instance, a risk situation, how to react in a crisis situation, an emotional impact, and you can get all the data from the different sensors, and you can measure and evaluate how the people respond to all these activities. Something that you can make it in real life with the sensors and computers, but imagine that you can work with different people all around the world. That cannot
you
be in
can
the
you
same
can
place.
evaluate and test their emotional intelligence level,
Absolutely,
and then
absolutely.
adapt and make courses that are in line to that level, so they
Yeah.
can progress in that.
But you need to train the people because if there is a barrier or they don't feel comfortable with the headset, for instance, if they don't feel
Yeah,
comfortable, maybe this is a barrier, and then you are going to get a bad impact or
feedback.
wrong,
Yeah,
wrong
yeah, yeah,
feedback or
sure.
wrong feedback. And this is very important because not all the people feel comfortable with the headset because it's hot, so they cannot see it quite well with the glasses. So first, you need to make let's say some kind of benchmark how the people feel with that, and then when the test is okay, then you can say okay, we can follow up and we can see how it works. But to say that everybody can use the same technology with the same without entry barriers, this will be not truth. So maybe somebody is going to give you a wrong feedback, but they can improve much better without the device. So this is something that has to be studied as well.
Very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I think it has a lot of potential. And you say that some companies are doing and focusing on this. Do you have any name or of the lead
Yeah,
companies
yeah.
that you can maybe share?
Yes. Well, there is a company that I knew from one of the developers that for me is a small history. Um, well, I have a very, very good friend. He was the general manager of the innovation area in the community of Madrid. And one day he told me, "Hey, Carlos, I saw that you are working with virtual reality. My sister is working in virtual reality, and she moves to New York, and she's
Okay.
doing incredible things." And saying, "This is the LinkedIn, so maybe you can connect with her." So I connected with her, and
Yes.
she told me all the history. She was really bored in Madrid because she's a lady. She was studying telecommunications, and she had a lot of ideas. And said, "I moved to New York, and then I discovered a company doing incredible things where I can do whatever I want." The company is OpenBCI.
Open
So they
BCI.
are OpenBCI. So they are working with neuroscience. They have sensors that they can get all the signals from the brain and all the signals from the headset. They can put everything in a computer, and with using artificial intelligence, they can help you to interact with some activities, programs, or whatever. If you have some disabilities or you have some problems with the hands or whatever, you can manage with the brain, with the sending signals with the brain. Imagine that people without legs or without hands, and they can play games that can help them to improve satisfaction, empathy, or whatever, you know.
That's
So they are doing incredible things. Just they are very, very young talents, and they are incredible things. And we are connect. We connect every month, and I invite her to our association, the DRAR Association, to make
uh-huh.
presentation, speaks, and for me, it's just a reference. This
All right.
this team, these ladies, Eva Esteban of BMBCI, and incredible.
I will look for this. I just Google it and I found the website, so it looks very interesting. And thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes.
Unfortunately, Carlos, is almost the end of the interview. It's been 30 minutes, very quick. I could talk with you for hours. I'm really, really interested in this kind of things. I think it can definitely transform and revolutionize all the education system that you talk about. That I think is very hard, as you say, because it's been many years since it haven't have a significant change. So I'm looking forward to see the future and with you and how you impact, this education system. And I just wanted to ask you last question, which I like to ask, is based on the Impact Revolution channel. What is the last message, an impactful message that you could leave to startups and entrepreneurs in your experience that will make
Well,
them succeed?
one thing is building trust. Life is hard. You need to work a lot. Think about the time. You need to build the best team you can imagine. That not means that the best guys is the best team, and you need very good mentors. Mentors is a key,
Yeah,
and you need to create your business plan. If you don't know a word about the business of the market where you are going to focus, forget it. This is something that many, many startups fail because they don't know a word about the business model, the industry that they want to. They have an idea and they think that is the best in the world. The idea that you got, maybe the same idea, there are 2,000 people in the world working in the same idea. Absolutely. But only one or two know how to make it happen and how to create
execute
business
it.
around that,
Yeah,
you know.
and
And this is
master.
very, very important. Very important. Time, trust. And if you have barriers, you need to jump one and another. And you need to have a very, very strong team. Team, mentors, market.
Uh, Definitely. All right, lovely. I love these tips. Thank you so much, Carlos. Yeah, it was a pleasure. Anything else you would like to share, or can we call it off?
Well, no, it was really a pleasure. I feel very happy and very comfortable. As you mentioned before, 30 minutes is just nothing, And okay, I hope we can meet us, let's say, in some months, and we can see how
Definitely,
the world is going and moving around. And if we
for
have
sure.
something new to share, this will be really a pleasure. It was really a
Definitely.
great time for me, Josie. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much
Thank you
for
so much,
inviting me.
Carlos. Thank you so much for your time, and talk to you soon. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you,
See you
Carlos.
soon. Bye
See
bye.
you. Bye bye.